Get ready to kickstart your journey to wellness with the ultimate guide in town. Welcome to Wellness Unleashed with Doc Stone. Join us as we journey through the realms of natural healing, where ancient wisdom meets modern science. Prepare to be inspired by stories of transformation and triumph. With Doc Stone as your guide, discover the power of holistic living and the joy of reclaiming your health. Prepare for a whirlwind adventure through the world of holistic wellness. From fitness freaks to spiritual gurus, we've got something for everyone. So grab your sneakers, your yoga mat, or just your sense of curiosity, and let's dive headfirst into a world of wellness wonders. Wellness Unleashed with Doc Stone. Your path to a vibrant life starts now. Well, hello, wellness warriors. Welcome back to Wellness Unleashed with Doc Stone. I am your host, Doc Stone. And tonight we're diving into a topic that affects nearly everyone: sleep. Now, chances are that you're probably not getting enough of it. Good quality sleep is the cornerstone of health. You know, one of the foundations or one of the founding principles of naturopathic medicine is that health exists where the conditions for it exist, and disease exists where the conditions for it exist. So one of the founding things that we can do in order to improve our health, or to create the environment, the condition for health to reside within our bodies, is to get that good quality sleep. Good quality sleep is the foundation, the one of the most important things that you could do, but it's oftentimes, I find, one of the most overlooked. It impacts everything from our mood and energy levels to our immune system. Yes, your immune system, and cognitive function. So as you can see, it affects a whole lot of your life and is really one of the big determining factors, on top of your nutrition and activity levels, that really contributes to your quality of life and whether or not you're going to be more susceptible to diseases, immune conditions, all of those types of things. So tonight we're going to explore why sleep is so crucial, and I'm going to share practical, natural, and holistic tips to help you reclaim your sleep and unlock your full potential. So let's start with the basics. Why is sleep so important? While we sleep, our bodies are hard at work. Now, how does that really make sense? You're in bed, you're sleeping, but Doc, you say that my body's hard at work. That is so true. See, your body needs you to go to sleep for your brain to shut down a bit in order for it to do the things in the background that work to help you to remain healthy. That's when your body kicks in. When you go to sleep, your body goes to work and it begins to search out for viruses and bacteria. It begins to heal things. It does autophagy. It begins to find cells that shouldn't be there or that aren't healthy. It recycles cells. So all of that occurs while you're sleeping. So a lack of sleep really, if you don't have sleep, you're impairing this process of repairing your tissues and, be building up your immune system and really giving your body the opportunity to recover from the assault of things that come to it throughout the day. So this is one of the reasons why you want to really make sure that you make sleep a priority. So some of the health problems that can occur if you are not getting good quality sleep on a nightly basis is it can weaken your immune system. Now, we know that our immune system is that system within our body that actually fights off viruses and bacteria. And when our immune system is weak, then we are more susceptible to getting, the cold, the flu, COVID. We're more susceptible to getting things like cancer, autoimmune disorders. So our immune system begins to really wear down when we are chronically deprived of the right amount of sleep for our bodies. So you also have an increased risk of diseases like heart disease and diabetes. I used to struggle with diabetes, had it for a long time, highest levels of insulin, medications, multiple medications, just trying to control it. And, one of the things when I reversed my diabetes, when I was able to get off all of my medications, was I focused on trying to make sure that I practice good sleep hygiene. And we'll talk a little bit more about what good sleep hygiene is later here in the episode. Have you struggled with weight gain or struggled with losing weight? Maybe you've been trying to lose weight for a while, or maybe you notice that the pounds have started creeping on. Your lack of quality sleep might be the culprit that is preventing you from reaching the weight goals that you have. Also, cognitive impairment. So, are you experiencing brain fog? Are you forgetting things? You could be contributing to that by not getting sleep, because during the sleep time, again, is when the body goes and heals those types of cells. So it's important for heart health and brain health, for weight management, for immune health. Sleep plays a foundational role in all of that. And mood disorders. Let's talk about that. Are you moody? Do you feel depressed? Do you feel anxious about things? This here is like a cycle, because if you are not getting enough sleep, that could be contributing to these mood and depression and anxiety, restlessness. And then that mood, anxiety, depression, and restlessness then further contributes to more lack of sleep. So it becomes this vicious cycle. So if you're experiencing any of these types of things, you may want to take a look at really what is your sleep process, your sleep quality, and what are you doing? Are you actually thinking about your sleep? If you're not, I would encourage all of you to do that. Now, Doc, how much sleep do we actually need? Well, individuals vary a lot, but professionals, studies show that while these individual needs might vary, that most adults require between 7 and 9 hours of quality sleep. Now, in today's world, people are hardly getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep. We have constant distractions. We have the internet. We have television. We have, synthetic lighting. We have all of these things that were created to possibly make our lives easier, to make work easier, to connect us with people across the world more, to make our lives more enjoyable. But the downside of that is that it has lowered the amount of sleep that most adults are getting. But it's not just about the quantity of your sleep. You have to think about your quality of sleep. And what I mean by that is it's not enough to just be in bed for 7 to 9 hours. I mean, it's hard enough for us to do that, but we have to be getting good quality sleep. We need, to be asleep during that 7 to 9 hours. How many of you go to bed and maybe be in bed for a long time, but you take a long time to fall asleep? Or maybe you wake up numerous times throughout the night. And you might have been in bed for 7 to 9 hours, but when you wake up, you still feel drained. You feel exhausted. You feel like maybe you didn't even sleep at all, or maybe you only spent a couple hours sleeping, even though you were in bed for 7 to 9 hours. This is where the quality of your sleep comes in. We need to make sure that we're not just focusing on quantity, but we are focusing on the quality. So let's look at some common culprits that sabotage our sleep. And a lot of these you can actually control. And if you focus on controlling these, then you'll find that your sleep quality improves. And when your sleep quality and quantity combined together improve, you will almost undoubtedly find that your health improves, your energy levels improve, your productivity at work or at home improve, your relationships will improve. So, what are some of these things that really sabotage our sleep? Well, really, in today's world, one of the biggest culprits is stress. Now, I know on this show that we've talked about stress a few times because really, the medical profession is beginning to understand or to realize more and more that stress is actually one of the leading causes of disease and death. Well, I thought cancer or heart attack was a leading cause. Doc, why do you say stress? Well, because stress contributes to just about every one of those conditions. When we operate in a place of chronic stress, it leads to, in relation to our sleep, it leads to racing thoughts, difficulty winding down. Plus, the stress hormones that are produced in response to that stress cause inflammation. They create wear and tear on your organs, wear and tear on your blood vessels, and they create a whole lot of problems. Chronic stress is a real issue in modern day America, and really I'd say across the world. So finding ways to manage that stress is going to be critical for you getting better sleep and improving your health, your wellness, your vitality. Caffeine and alcohol contribute to sleep issues as well, especially when we drink or consume them later in the day. If you're going to consume caffeine on a regular basis, which I'm not recommending that you do, but if you are going to consume caffeine, it's better to do it earlier in the morning and try not to consume caffeine in the afternoon. Now, when you're already not getting good quality sleep and you're feeling drained and you're feeling tired, it can be really easy in the middle of the afternoon when you're at work and you need to try to stay awake or be productive to think, let me go drink a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, get that caffeine so that I can wake up and I can do my job, or I can live life, or I can handle being around the kids if you're at home with them. The problem is that's going to cause you to have problems falling asleep later at night. So rather, if you're having those lulls in the middle of the day, instead of going to the caffeine or to the sugar, get yourself some vegetables, eat an apple, eat some carrots, get something like that going. Feed your body good quality nutrition so that you have the energy to do what it is that you need to do. Let's talk about electronics. Now, they're just a fact of life. But really, we began when the light bulb was created. We began to throw out our circadian rhythm, and really this started the downhill slide to poor sleep quality. And we also have televisions, we have computers, we have smartphones, we have all of these different electronics, Xboxes, PlayStations, all of these things that emit what's called blue light. And blue light tends to throw off the hormones that help us to sleep, particularly melatonin, but it throws off our circadian rhythm. So when we're exposing ourselves to blue light through the eyes, right, we're throwing off the things in our body that tell us, help us to get tired, that help us to go to sleep, and everything. So they really are. It's crucial that we pay attention, especially later in the evening as it gets dark outside, to how much electronics that we're using. You can use blue light blocking glasses to help you. Wear those starting after the sun goes down, and try to get that circadian rhythm back in balance so that you can get the good quality sleep that you need. Another important part of getting sleep is something that affects you not being able to is an irregular sleep schedule. So one of the things that I always recommend to people is that you go to bed and you wake up at about the same time every day, right? This whole going to bed at different times, waking up at different times, even on the weekends, it disrupts your body's natural sleep wake cycle. So, we talk on this show about holistic health and natural health. And one of the things that we've talked about is that the body is naturally designed to try to keep itself in a place of homeostasis, that is, of balance. It's constantly working without us even having to think about it to balance out the things that we need, the hormones, the cellular regeneration, to balance, to keep things in a balance, because your body loves balance and it's crucial for your health. So, having a regular schedule will help your body to get back into healing itself. Poor diet. We talk about diet a lot on this show. Consuming heavy meals or sugary snacks throughout the day, but especially in the evening hours before bed, can really mess up your sleep. On top of the fact that you're adding energy to your body while you go to sleep. What a lot of people don't realize is that digestion takes a lot of work for your body. So if you go to sleep and you got food in your stomach when you go to sleep, then your body, instead of putting its focus and energy towards the night stuff that it needs to do, like the autophagy, the finding out these cells, healing things, trying to reduce inflammation, that kind of stuff. Instead, what it's doing is putting its energy towards digestion. And so it's doing that instead of what it needs to do. So making sure that you don't eat sugary snacks, don't eat heavy meals, an hour or two before bed. Make sure that you're not going to bed in a place where your body is so focused on digesting stuff. There's some underlying health conditions like sleep apnea. That's probably one of the sleep disorders that you've heard mentioned the most. Maybe you've seen it on TV. People wear CPAP machines. But sleep apnea is basically where you have episodes where you stop breathing. And so what happens is that as you stop breathing, usually because of some type of an occlusion in your throat there, then what happens is your body wakes itself up. It's trying to save itself, because without oxygen, our brain cells start to die. We die. We have to breathe. So this is a part of the natural healing process of your body. It goes, danger, Will Robinson, danger. It recognizes you're not breathing. And so it wakes you up to cause you to take a breath, right? And so we want to make sure that if we have, sleep apnea, that we are doing things to help to reverse that. Now, we're not going to dig too deep into sleep apnea. Maybe we'll do a show on ways that you can support that naturally and holistically, but just know that can cause you to not be getting good quality sleep at nighttime and affecting your health in numerous ways. Restless leg syndrome is another common condition, and essentially that's just where your lower legs constantly twitch or moving a lot of times throughout the night, again waking you up. And then chronic pain can significantly impact sleep quality. Again, you want to make sure if you're having some type of issue or health condition, make sure that you consult with a professional, seek out a healthcare practitioner so that you can get these things addressed and improve not only the rest of your health, but your sleep quality. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Let's talk about some practical tips for improving our sleep. Okay. So here are some strategies that you can implement tonight. You don't have to wait until next week. You don't need to wait for, some kind of motivation or anything like that. This should be motivation enough. The fact that you want to live longer, live healthier, and have a healthy life. So let's talk about these strategies. First, establish that regular sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up around the same time every day, even on the weekends. Try not to take the temptation to sleep in until 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, when you normally get up at 6 o'clock every day to go to work, because this will throw your circadian rhythm out of whack, and it will affect you the rest of the week. So go to bed and wake up around the same time each day. This will help you begin to take control of and to regulate that circadian rhythm. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. Wind down with a warm bath. Reading, maybe in your warm bath, throw a little bit of lavender essential oil in there. Really find a way to help yourself to create a relaxing bedtime. Maybe it's reading a book or listening to calming music. I know that there's some tools out there that some people use to play, background white noise or the sounds of waves crashing on the beach to help them to get into that relaxed mode so that they can fall asleep easier. And then avoid screen time at least an hour before bed. I know with smartphones and TVs and everything, that's really, really hard. A lot of people, they'll be on their phone right before bed, or they'll be watching television, then it gets late, and then they'll turn off the TV and go right to bed. And the problem with that is that because you've been allowing all this blue light that we talked about, then your body hasn't really released the hormones needed, specifically the melatonin, to help you to fall into that deep slumber. So try to eliminate the electronics at least an hour before bed. So just really avoid that. And then optimize your sleep environment. What do I mean? And all of this is part of a big term that you might hear oftentimes called sleep hygiene, right? So, how do you optimize your sleep environment? Well, first of all, make sure that your bedroom's dark. Again, light plays such an important role. And especially for those people who live in northern hemispheres where maybe it stays light until 11, 12, 1 o'clock, or even up in Alaska, maybe where it's almost 24 hours a day in the summertime. It's important to make sure that your bedroom is dark. Use darkening blinds, curtains, blackout curtains, whatever you need to do. I know lots of times in Alaska, they use tinfoil on windows in the summertime to help block out the light. But whatever you got to do, make sure that your room is dark. Make sure it's quiet. You don't need to have all kinds of, noise happening while you're sleeping. And then importantly, and a lot of people don't think about this, is keep it cool. When your body is in cooler temperatures, it helps it to just kind of slow down, and then it can focus on taking care of itself. So keeping that thermostat turned down at nighttime is really, really important. And then invest in a comfortable mattress and pillows. Make sure that your pillows are supporting your cervical spine. Make sure it's comfortable. Make sure that your mattress is at a comfort or a firmness that's comfortable for you. Everybody is a little bit different. Some people like firmer mattresses. Some people like the more plusher mattresses, but find one that's going to support your body type, that is going to allow you to just kind of feel really comfortable when you crawl into bed and go to sleep. Because not only is it important to be able to go to sleep, but you need to be able to stay asleep throughout the night. Don't drink too much water or liquids, a couple hours before bedtime, so you're not getting up, to use the restroom, 5, 6, 7, 8 times per night, because you can't get into that deep sleep that your body needs if you're constantly getting up to use the bathroom. Just doesn't work. So practice relaxation techniques. So deep breathing exercises. We've talked about that before. Meditation or yoga can help to calm your mind. Have you ever laid down in bed and your mind just starts racing? And how easy is it for you to fall asleep when that happens? It's not. It's a challenge. You'll lay there awake, tossing and turning because your mind is thinking about this and that. So practicing, some mindfulness techniques can help to improve your sleep quantity and quality. It can prepare you for sleep. So, real simple. We've done this before, just with the breathing exercise. Maybe you don't really know how to meditate. Maybe, you're not into yoga. You don't know how to do yoga. That's okay. One thing that I know, that if you're watching this show, what you know how to do is breathe. Get it? Because if you weren't breathing, you wouldn't be watching the show. So really just begin to practice that type of box breathing that we've talked about before. Maybe breathe in for 4 to 8 seconds. Hold it for 4 to 8 seconds. And then exhale 4 to 8 seconds. Do that throughout the day, but then especially before you go to bed, just really take those deep breaths and find yourself becoming more mindful and really, relaxing yourself into that sleep state. So breathing exercises are great. That's also a great way to release stress. It's a great way to improve oxygenation to all of the different tissues and cells in your body. So make sure that you're practicing that on a regular basis. Manage your stress. Again, mindfulness, yoga, prayer, whatever works for you, whatever you find relaxing. Find something that's relaxing, and make sure that you are managing that stress. Chronic stress kills. We've talked about some different things that you can do to improve your stress with like adaptogenic herbs, ashwagandha. We've talked about a lot. Those types of things. Make sure that you are managing that stress. Watch your diet. So avoid caffeine. I know I like my coffee, so that's hard for me, but I do not drink it in the afternoon. So I only have it in the mornings, and avoid alcohol before bed. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people go, well, isn't alcohol a depressant? So wouldn't that help me to sleep more? Yes, this is depressant, but no, it's not going to help you sleep more. You're not going to get good quality sleep. You might pass out, but it won't be good sleep because your body's going to be so working hard to detox your body from that alcohol. Eat a balanced diet. Food. Food is your best medicine, not any pill that the pharmacies give you. Food is your best medicine. So eat a balanced diet and avoid those heavy meals close to bedtime. And then consider natural supplements, ashwagandha being one of them that we've talked about. But there's also herbal remedies like chamomile. Chamomile is a very relaxing. You can do like a chamomile tea. You can do chamomile capsules even if you wanted to. But chamomile is a good one. And then valerian root is another really good herb that helps to relax and help you to fall into that deep sleep. And then, of course, melatonin is probably the one that most people know about. And so make sure that you do consult with a healthcare practitioner before starting to take any new supplement. Make sure there's not any contraindications with any medications you're on or anything like that. But do make sure that you seek out some professional guidance, whether it be your primary care physician or a holistic healthcare practitioner. Just make sure that you double check before you start taking those things. And then it's important to listen to your body and identify what works. What works for you might be a little different than what works for me. These are just basic generalities that help, the majority of the people, but do what works best for you. Improving your sleep is a journey. It's not really a destination, right? It's going to take time. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take you actually focusing on doing that, but be patient with yourself and celebrate the small victories. So when you do achieve a victory, whether it's a better night rest, maybe you get an extra hour of sleep than what you normally get, pat yourself on the back and celebrate that, and then continue focusing on doing those things that is going to help you. Okay. So it's important to listen to your body and identify what works for you and just continue to stay at it. Don't give up. Patience is one of the most important attributes you can have in improving your health, especially if you've been not so well or you've been sick for a very long time. If you tried these tips and you're still struggling with sleep, it's essential that you consult with a professional. Go see a healthcare professional. Maybe you have an underlying condition that you're not aware of, such as sleep apnea. They can help identify those issues for you and recommend appropriate treatment options for you. So that's all the time we have for tonight's episode of Wellness Unleashed with Doc Stone. Remember, prioritizing sleep is an investment in your overall health and well-being. Join me next week as we explore another fascinating topic in natural health and wellness. Until then, be well. Thank you for watching Wellness Unleashed with Doc Stone on the ArrowStream TV network. The opinions expressed by the host and guests of this show are theirs and not the opinions of the network or our sponsors. None of the information shared on today's episode should be taken as medical advice. Statements have not been approved by the FDA or any other governmental authority. And if you're experiencing any kind of illness or wellness issue, you are encouraged to consult with your licensed healthcare practitioner. And we do appreciate you watching our show and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.